If somebody is convicted of multiple DUIs in California, they are facing mandatory jail time as well as probation, classes, ignition interlock device in Los Angeles County. A first-time DUI does not include mandatory jail time in most cases. However, a second-time DUI does. And the way to get around the mandatory jail time is to avoid a second-time DUI conviction. If somebody gets a second-time DUI, the minimum jail time according to state law is 96 hours. The jail time on a second-time offense goes from 96 hours up to a maximum of 1 year. If someone were to be convicted of a third-time DUI, the mandatory minimum jail time is 120 days. And if somebody gets a fourth DUI, that is typically filed as a felony, and the person would be looking at state prison time rather than county jail. With multiple offenses, there's also a license suspension that is longer than if it were a first-time offense. If somebody gets a typical second-time DUI, they may lose the license, a hard suspension for 90 days. Could be a year, depending on the circumstances. If somebody is on probation and gets a second DUI, there would be a hard suspension of a year where the person could not drive for over a year with no ignition interlock option. On a third-time offense, the hard suspension would go to 6 months. And these time periods constantly change depending on different laws and different programs that may be put into effect. Of course, the more DUI convictions and the closer together that the convictions are, the more likely a prosecutor and a judge are going to be looking for jail time and for significant jail time. If someone were to get a second-time DUI, the maximum would be 1 year. If they were on probation for the first, when they picked up the second, their exposure or the amount of time that they would be looking at would be 1 year on the second, plus the probation violation up to 6 months on a first-time DUI. If they were on probation for a second and got a third, their exposure would be 2 years. And a judge could sentence somebody to that time. And those are some of the issues, some of the things that someone facing multiple DUIs would have to deal with.